Hey gang, so I know this is a candle that everyone has probably smelled. It is wide release, it's available everywhere, but I just wanted to talk about it because I really, really love it. It's one of my favorites. It is Pumpkin Woods in this current collection. I do believe it came out last year in sort of that Thanksgiving collection as welcome, maybe winter spiced wreath. And now they have it as Pumpkin Woods. Quite honestly, I appreciate anything in the pumpkin collection that's not a fake bakery because they have, gosh, what do they have? Donuts, which I do love, the cinnamon sugar donut, but they, which is not even in pumpkins, is it? But they've got the French toast and the cheesecake and the berry crumble and the banana muffin, and so many of them don't smell like they're supposed to smell based on the names that it's just like enough already. Just release those as other scents, forget the pumpkin collection, let it go. And honestly, the labels I think are a little chintzy and cheap this year on this collection. So for me, most of the pumpkin collection is a major pass. I've got the ones from it, in years past that I love. So I didn't need to buy anything from this one except Pumpkin Woods because I love that autumn spice or winter spice wreath, whatever they called it. And for me, this really, it's really is more of like a November candle into even December because it does lean a little more holiday. Not necessarily Christmas, but certainly holiday season, like a late October into November. The notes on this one, with their new version of doing a little potentially more authentic version of the notes, which I certainly appreciate without the, walking through a forest and sniffing the blah, blah, blah kind of thing. This one is just woodland spruce, cedar, clove buds, and smoky vanilla. Now, I love a pine candle. I love pine blends across the board. You give me spruce, you give me fir, you give me whatever you've got, I will take it. Now this one, I actually thought maybe it was more of a balsam versus the spruce, but I think the spruce is just a little bit less, a little sweeter, and a little bit less of that rush like you get from, say, fresh balsam, of course, or anything else that has balsam in it, which is really, what's the word I'm looking for? Not so much resinous, but more of just like a hit of, not effervescence, almost like a menthol or something that's like a sharp medicinal note to it, whereas spruce I think is much softer and sweeter as far as pine notes go. So this one, what I get from it, again, I think it's just a straight up repackage of that one from last fall. So if you know that, you know that. But it's in the family of, if you ever had maybe 2012, 2013 failed test scents, autumn snow, pine cone, it leans towards that. There's the bit of the resinous side to it, almost thinking like a cousin, not a sister, but a cousin to, say, the snowed inns and things like that have a pine and a resin and just a warmth to them. With this one specifically, what I love and get in it, it's so warm. Pumpkin, forget it. I mean, I'm glad they didn't even put pumpkin in the notes. They're calling it Pumpkin Woods. Walk in the Woods, they could call it if they wanted to, something. They just wanted to throw it in this collection. I would have preferred it in some sort of conceptual outdoors collection without pumpkin in the name, but this is Bath & Body Works, what do you expect? But it's the spruce. The cedar, again, cedar is like also a wood that I think is usually a little sweeter, kind of heavy sometimes. Not a lot of that, but a little bit of cedar in there. Clove buds, yes. I would almost say potentially a tiny bit of cinnamon. Like a cinnamon bark, not a spicy red hot cinnamon, very, very light on the cinnamon if so, but I think there's a little more than just clove buds in there. But it's one of those candles, similar to, say, chestnut and clove or something, where I just want to keep smelling it. And right now, early September, it's much too early to actually light it, for me at least, because it will lean towards holiday, but it's just, it does feel outdoorsy. Again, it's conceptual, without being cologne-y at all. I wouldn't want to wear this as a cologne. There's not many colognes that have a lot of pine or spruce in them. You're like a walking, holiday ad at that point. But it's just so nice. You know what it is? Also, to me, it's one of those ones where I've said it before in other videos. When you smell it, you step into a different place. Whether it's outdoors, like they say in the woods, which I can totally buy in this case, or almost it's like a classic. It's a throwback. It feels like it's very old school in a deliberate and really nice way where, holidays of yore, whatever it might be, it's not trying to be something fresh and trendy and new and whatever. It's just I think it's classy, subdued, and classic. Just very, very classic spruce and sort of autumnal blend. I love it. Doesn't have pumpkin, doesn't have apples, doesn't have anything like that. It's more, again, on the true sort of outdoors, which I would love to see that kind of collection. Smoky vanilla, I feel like they may have thrown that in there just for the folks who are scared of something that they think would be too woody. I suppose. I don't think it has the smoke notes that, say, the pumpkin fireside or the toasted vanilla caramel or anything else that has a vanilla or a smoke to it. Certainly nothing like the fireside candles either, or vanilla fireside from years ago. Perhaps a bit of vanilla. I don't really see it. And I don't get smoke in here either. So for me, this is more on the spruce, the cedar, and the clove with a hint of perhaps cinnamon, like a cinnamon bark again. But yeah, I just could keep talking about it and sniffing it all day. Can't wait to light that one. Love it. Hopefully it has good performance. That's pretty much it. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that scent in one of the holiday winter collections, because I do think it does trend very well for later in the season. But those will be releasing in a couple of days here, so hopefully we'll get more in-depth info on those soon and see what's out there. But so far, Pumpkin Woods, I love it. If you see it on the shelf and you don't even bother sniffing it, definitely smell it. Maybe pick it up, save it for a little later in the season. Again, a cold October day into November. I think it's perfect. And so that's pretty much it for that one. Stay tuned. Got a couple more here, again, with the marble candle collection and the metallic leaf collection. And until next time, take care.